Alright, back to it. Back walking. Another day. Have a topic today of the biggest anxiety as a parent is whether or not you're screwing up your kid. So, it's a pretty big deal. It is. It's you got this life form that you're in charge of keeping alive and making sure they grow into a good person and all the rest of it. And yeah, there's no guidebook for it. There's no set how-to. There's not really any sort of like you got no idea what you're doing, and nobody's going to tell you how to do it. So it's all on your back. You got to make the decisions as to what happens with them, and there's no way of telling whether that's going to screw them up for the rest of their lives until they're old. So kind of wanted to talk about some ways that you can screw your kids up. And the problem is everything is a balancing point. So you can go either too far one way or too far the other, and it's going to screw them up. And then finding that middle point is quite hard. And if you've got multiple kids, so I've got 2 kids, nothing but my thumb there. I've got 2 kids. At the moment they are 8 and 4.5, but completely off angle there. So my daughter's 8, son's 4.5, and they're completely different creatures. So, what you do for one isn't going to work for the other. So you got to find that happy middle ground and figure out how to work with their personality and go from there. And it's different for each. So you got one kid, wants heaps of attention, the other one doesn't want any. And then you're sitting in the middle and you're thinking you got to give the kids attention, but then if you give them too much, they think that they're entitled to your attention and they should be the only thing that matters to you, which doesn't work. So you can sit there on your phone and completely ignore your kids up until the point where they're in your face, tapping your shoulder, basically yelling at you, and then you get pissed off at them and scream, and that's going to screw them up because they're going to think that you've got no interest in them. Or you can be right there all the time, constantly asking, how are you doing? What are you doing? What are you thinking? What do you want to do? How are we going to spend time together? Constantly at them. And then they're going to feel smothered and controlled. And, they're going to grow up not able to make any decisions because you're constantly there helping them make decisions, helping them with everything. So they're going to grow up to be frankly useless without you. And then, another way you can screw up your kids is the money-wise, finances. I had a little bit of a mental blank there. Finances. So you could be one of these parents who, even though you've got plenty of cash, never buys anything for your kids. You know, little treats every now and then just don't exist. They're not in your vocabulary. Birthdays and Christmas, you know, when it's commonly accepted that you get a present, they get one, and that's it. It's just like, no, well, I bought you a present. There you go. Or you can be the other end of the scale, where it's daily gifting, and every time the kid says, oh, I want this, you go buy it for them straight away. You know, that's just going to cause issues where they just expect everything all the time, and then they're going to grow up into the world and just be dumbfounded, basically, that people don't just give them stuff. And you know, they're going to get into the workplace and just expect to be handed stuff. It doesn't work like that. Another way of messing your kids up can be freedoms. And there's a few different sorts of freedoms. Say freedom of their time. You know, you basically let them spend their time however they want. You know, they can play with toys, play with musical instruments, study, help around the house, go on the computer, you know, do whatever you want. Your time is yours. Or you can go right down to the 10th minute, organising them, scheduling them, and telling them precisely what they're going to be doing and how long they're going to be doing it. And that's, you know, they're either going to have so much time on their hands that they're just going to spend it all doing one thing that makes them happy and not learn any sort of time management, or they're going to be so neurotic about how much time they spend doing stuff that they're going to struggle to survive without strict structure. And then there's freedom of like where they are. So this is like, you wake up in the morning, you open the front door and say, oh well, if you want, bugger off. You know, I don't care where you are. Go entertain yourself. And you know, they could be absolutely anywhere, doing absolutely anything. And you know, you just don't care. Then you can go the other way of, no, you have to be in my line of sight at all time. I have to know where you are. I have to know what you're doing. You know, that's, if you let them out of the house and you don't sort of at least know where they are, you're going to have the issue of they could be doing absolutely anything. And, you know, drugs and theft and underage sex and all the rest of it is bad. Then you got the other side of things where you have your eye on them at all times, and then as soon as they get out of your line of sight, you know, so they move out of home for the first time, they're gonna go nuts. They're gonna be like, oh my god, I can do what I want. All these things that they feel that they've missed out on, drinking and drugs and partying and all the rest of it, and they're going to go the opposite way again. They're going to get into stuff and it's going to ruin their lives, or possibly ruin their lives. So, there's all these things, and another one is I'm thinking like the esports, all the computer game competitions that are going on now. Like, I remember when I was younger, I was only allowed a certain amount of time playing video games because, kids are supposed to be outside and playing and getting fresh air and all that, and I had absolutely no interest in outdoor activities. I was more interested in visual, audio, stimulus with, fine motor interactions. But like, you look at it now, and there's these kids that they spend 12 hours a day playing a video game, and then they're a part of these like world competitions, international, like everyone comes together, they all play these competitions together, and like the winners are getting hundreds of thousands of dollars. And see, if your kid is sitting on the computer playing this one particular video game all the time, and he's really good at it, he has the chance to go professional, and you're telling him, no, get off the computer, read a book, go play outside, build a sand fucking mound, those activities aren't going to help them, get anywhere, when playing this game has the opportunity, or has the possibility of providing the opportunity for the kid to be bloody rich for playing a video game, So it's that fine balance of allowing them to have a bit of free rein, but still giving them the good guidance, paying enough attention to them so that they feel that they have some value, but not being overbearing and controlling. Then, also the finances is not giving them everything they ever wanted, and also not making it so that they feel they're missing out, because then as soon as they make their own money, they're just going to spend it on everything they want. But like teaching them the value of money. And I'm going to make a video about money. I don't want to do it while I'm walking though, because I want to sort of do that one properly with actual numbers and all that, and I'm not going to do the calculations of compounding interest over a 40-year period of investing $1,000 a year. It's just nah. But yeah, so you need to then teach them all the things that they need to know, yet also allow them to have their own lessons, and they learn things for themselves sometimes. Let them mess up, but be there when they do mess up to offer assistance if they ask, and to take over when it's needed. Like, we are the adults and we have the experience, and we know, when things have gone too far and things have really started to get out of hand. The partying and all that, you need to be able to talk to your kids and go, no, you're hitting the partying too much, and you need to pull it back. And then, so that brings another area where you can mess your kids up. And it sort of comes down to the freedoms of time and location and level of attention. It's your overall relationship with your kids, whether they respect you or whether they think that you're just some old person and you've got no idea what life is like for them, and you've forgotten what it's like to be a kid and all the rest of it. You don't want kids to resent you. You want your kids to respect you, understand that you have intelligence that they don't have. So it's a fine game. There's a fine balancing point of having your kids feel like you're treating them appropriately and you're paying enough attention to them and not being so obsessed with your phone, and then giving them the freedoms that they feel like they can do what they want, but you're still able to control. Well, not control. That's the word I was trying to avoid. You don't want to control your kids. You guide them and, impart your knowledge. It's, we've got, on average, 20 years on them. So, we need to make sure that they don't make the same mistakes we make. But they also still need to learn the lessons that we learn. So, yeah, it's a minefield. It is. And it's something that as a parent, you think about constantly, We give them enough freedom to do what they want, that they don't develop a work ethic, or do we control them that they can't manage unless somebody's telling them exactly what to do, or pay so much attention to them that they feel that they're not making their own decisions, or let them do what they want, that they will struggle when they're being told what to do. It's a hard game to play. And by no means was this video intended to tell you how to parent your kids. It's more a bit of insight in this parent's thoughts and fears of his kids getting screwed up. And hopefully that doesn't happen. And hopefully if you have kids or you're going to have kids, you don't screw yours up either. And I want to ask you guys, if you've got kids and if you feel like you're screwing them up, leave a comment below and let me know how you think you're screwing them up and what you're going to do to sort of fix it. Because, we want our kids to not be screwed up. And sometimes we've got to fix what we've screwed up. Alright, well, that's it for this one. I've said my piece. and I'll catch you guys in the next video. So yeah, stay safe.